The ARCA Menards series is green in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Hold on. Thad Moffitt into the wall. Drew Dollar sliding up this racetrack on the first lap in turns 3 and 4. And Dollar not able to get that car turned. He and Thad Moffitt pushed into the wall. Was that 46? And a bad break for Thad Moffitt, who had big dreams here today.
We saw, and we're still on the green, Bob. We're still on the green. That big accident, they slowed down, they got out of the way. We see a donut on the side of the number 20 of Corey Heim. How bad do these guys want to lead a lap? It's worth a point in the overall championship. The 18 came in 2 points, just 2 points ahead of the 20 of Corey Heim at the drop of the green flag.
Ty Gibbs did not make it easy on Corey Heim, the kid from Georgia, in that 20 car in the opening couple of laps of this race. But now the 18 is in command, and here comes Nick Sanchez with that new ride in the 2, going for second on the inside of Corey Heim. Let's take a look at what happened between both of those drivers. Ty Gibbs able to pull to the inside. Now, they already had contact. You could see the donut right on the door of Corey Heim. Heim said, I don't want to get together again, but Ty Gibbs kept a lot of pressure on that 20, both in the opening lap, driving him up the racetrack, and in that move as well.
At this high speed, that's high stakes. We see it in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series all the time, trying to crowd someone to get a spot or try to slide him. Well, actually, what Ty Gibbs is, he moved up the racetrack on the initial lap to keep Corey Heim up a little bit in the weeds, if you will.
And there goes Dollar way up the racetrack. Actually started just a little bit before that as well. Looks like Drew Dollar lost the nose on that machine and just took him right up the track.
Flat out lost the air on the nose of that car and went up the racetrack, and on the outside of him was, unfortunately, Thad Moffitt. That's D.L. Wilson with a lot of smoke, Bob. That's not just tire rub. That's something, I think, from under the hood on that Chevrolet.
Back to green at Michigan, and everyone was expecting the 18 to run away and hide from the rest of the competition because of how well he did at Kansas earlier this year. But then a bunch of us still looking at the 23. We were looking at the 20. Those cars we expected to be very strong, but not a lot of people expected Nick Sanchez, who is now in line in second, to be as strong as he is. And this is the opportunity for Nick Sanchez to shine. There's the 20 machine. Corey Heim starting to march his way back through the field after that pit stop. Yellow flag out for the second time in this race. Ty Gibbs had already an 8-second advantage. And man, Tim Richmond in that 27 and Drew Dollar in the Venturini Motorsports 15. A heavy hit for both of those drivers, and they are at the entrance to pit road.
Tim Richmond climbing out there, the Illinois driver trying to help the window net down to perhaps say a few things to Drew Dollar and maybe a few more things. Tim Richmond, co-owner of this team with his dad and Alex Club, and Drew Dollar wants to get back to the attention of his pit crew. That car's not going anywhere. More than just body damage on the 15.
Wasn't sure if he was mad or if he was trying to help Drew Dollar out. The verdict certainly still out. Let's take a look at what we see here. And the 46, maybe a little payback right there on Drew Dollar, and a hard hit to the left side by Tim Richmond. Wow, that was a big impact for the 15. Here's another look at it, and it looks like you can say that the 46 slid the nose there, but those two got into it in the opening laps of this race.
Hard to say. Right on that black line, you saw the run that Drew Dollar had. Thad Moffitt got right to his tail and spun him around. It's a big deal to have Sam Mayer get comfortable with this really high-caliber team. 14
cars still on the lead lap. 30 laps into this shootout for the ARCA Menards series at Michigan. Look at Corey Heim trying to go to the outside, calculated in his approach to move to that outside groove and get past the 2 of Nick Sanchez.
And Ty Gibbs doing what he's learned. I mean, he's a student of this sport. He knows by moving down in front of the car on the inside, that will break the air in the stream that the number 2 has, but here comes Sanchez again on the inside. Nice run by Sanchez, the rookie.
Not a good restart by Nick Sanchez in the 2. He does not keep pace with the 18. Now trying to fend off Sam Mayer, who's on the outside, but look at the head of steam right now that Sanchez has. A little bit loose, by the way, right there for the 2 machine in the middle of the corner.
So you start to lower air pressure. You've got different tires on the car. Again, this tire situation playing out. They may not have 4 more tires to throw at it. So if they made their change, this is what they're going to live with for the rest of this race. Just a 12-tire weekend for these teams. They had a qualifying race. They had to run the race on the tires they practiced on.
Oh, wow. Did you see that behind that shot? I believe it was the 28. Indeed, it was Kyle Sieg. He shot way up the racetrack, almost collided with Greg Van Alst and was able to save that race car. It was an unbelievable move by Kyle Sieg.
And we stay under green here.
Going green for the ARCA Menards series at Michigan. 25 laps to go. Ty Gibbs grabs that top spot, and look at who is in second and going after the lead. Corey Heim is there. Ty Gibbs tries to shut the door. Corey Heim says, no way. Corey Heim out of Georgia going for the lead here after disappearing for a while. Wow. Oh, gets a little bit loose. Great save there for Corey Heim.
The last time Ty Gibbs tried that crowding move, it cost him the win at Pocono. He tried to crowd Brandon, the teammate, to the number 20 car. This time a little bit easier on him, but wow, did he wash out quick there, didn't he? He lost the nose in the 20.
He's able to get down there to the center of the corner, but then he just loses the nose, especially with the way Ty Gibbs had him pinned. Yellow flag back out, and we got a mess.
Gracie Trotter in the 97 of Kitzmiller, who just came off pit road, involved. As well as the 11 of Varney.
3 drivers inside the top 10. You can see the damage on Varney's machine, but it looks like Gracie Trotter in the 25 took the biggest hit of all. She's able to climb out of that race car from the Venturini Motorsports stables.
Those cars restarted 7th, 8th, and 9th, I believe, on the restart.
Kitzmiller, a lot of damage to that 97 on the front end.
A lot of damage. He came into pits again. He and Greg Van Alst just came off pit road. They pitted for a second time under this caution. We always restart the lead lap cars that did not pit, followed by the lead lap cars that did pit in restart order under these modified rules. And there's Jason Kitzmiller just taking a moment. That was a hard hit.
Kitzmiller catching his breath. He was running 8th, was on that lead lap by virtue of that free pass. The 25 of Trotter was scored a lap down at that time, just behind him. And then Brandon Varney, the other car involved, was scored 7th just prior to this caution.
Got some body damage. They're going to put some tires back on the car they took off from prior in the race, as we just had our final pit stop where tires were put on. And boy, Gracie's car actually was on fire for a brief moment. Glad to see she got out okay.
You know, he used a little savviness here to get by Nick Sanchez, dove right to the bottom. Ty Gibbs tried to cut down, but Corey Heim was already there.
Yeah, I mentioned at Pocono, it was actually Chandler Smith, the teammate for the number 20 team at Venturini. Ty Gibbs was trying to crowd, and he cost himself the victory, so that was a good move by Ty. A learning lesson at Pocono, played well here. He didn't get close enough to Corey, just enough to get to his quarter panel, but Corey had a great run down the backstretch. And then look at this crowd again.
Yeah, and that's on purpose to try to disturb the air, and it certainly did it for the 18 on the 20. So both of these kids trying to use whatever they can to try to slow each other down. And then Sam Mayer was able to get by the 20 just prior to the caution coming out.
And there's the reason for the caution. 3 cars involved. That's Gracie Trotter's car on fire coming off the wall to pit road. And Jason Kitzmiller, great work by our MAV TV cameras. And man, there was a lot going on there in a short period of time.
Can Ty Gibbs hold off Corey Heim? I don't know why that Gibbs machine and that team was worried about the restart because he had a good one right there, able to get that advantage over Corey Heim, but this is not done.
Heim has to stay close to the number 18 of Gibbs, and Gibbs doing everything he can. Again, pinching out the entry turn 3, just like the dirt track, like Kyle Larson the other night in the BC 39, just trying to get to the inside, holding off, squeezing off that line momentarily for the car behind to get that spot. What that's done, messed up Corey Heim's wrench into turn 3 again, and here comes Sam Mayer to the inside of that blue and white QPS employment group, number 23.
But I believe the angle at which Corey Heim took the 20 into turn 3 hurt him dearly. Almost looked like we had a dog leg down the backstretch. Those guys bobbing and weaving, trying to break the air. Ty Gibbs, so savvy behind the wheel of the 18. Now just 2 laps to go at Michigan.
At other super speedways this size, mile and a half, you might say, hey, why don't they go to the apron? Why does he protect way on the bottom? Well, this front stretch is different. It's banked, it's got a big old bow to it, and that apron is dead flat, so it's not a great move if you go down that far. So Gibbs doing everything he can to break that draft, but there's not really room on the bottom under the white line on the front stretch like there has been at other mile and a half, 2 mile tracks you may have seen on television.
If these guys slow each other down just enough, Nick Sanchez might be able to pounce. He's close enough to smell victory. 1 lap to go, white flag in the air in Brooklyn, Michigan.
High speed, high stakes at Michigan. Can Gibbs hang on here as Heim closes once again in turn 1?
He's got one more shot. If he doesn't get it here, it might hurt his momentum down in turn number 3. Corey Heim really close. That's the best run he's had off that corner. 2 more corners to go at Michigan.
Heim not close enough. We'll see if he can close it up off of turn 4 here.
It might be all done for Corey Heim. A valiant effort today by Corey Heim, but it looks like it'll be crazy 8s for the 18 of Ty Gibbs. He takes the win at Michigan for his 8th victory of the season.